Well, this is so fun, Andre and Nene. I am super excited to meet you. Sometimes I get to do these interviews with people that I know, and in this case, we just met, and
Yes.
this is so fun for me.
It is for me as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a little fun getting to know you guys and finding out what your involvement is in real estate and also with the Urban Land Institute. But first, maybe Nene, you tell me a little bit about your background and where did it all begin for you?
Oh boy, where did it all begin? Well, what is that? 4 scores. Began. Well, first off, my name is Nene Matey-Keke. I am the 2024 chair for REDI, which is ULI's program for working with the communities of color, BIPOC community, and women, and getting them more experience in the real estate development arena. And so where it began for me was way back when I would say it started, and I want to say about at the turn of the century. I didn't actually say that. In 2000, I was working for American Express Financial Advisors at the time.
Okay.
I was a financial planner, and if you don't remember anything about that time, that was during the .com era.
All right.
Yes. So for us old folks, that was when the stock market literally was not crashing, but it was just like paused and wasn't growing and wasn't really, and some declines. So, and I really didn't connect when it was with dealing with financial advice through stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It was great for helping people prepare for their futures and their investments, but it wasn't really doing any deeper of a connection in regards to relationships. And so I ended up buying my first home, which was a duplex. And so I ended up, becoming a carpenter contractor from day one, and 2, and a landlord, and 3, it was something that really was a enlightening process for me. And so I ended up getting my real estate license and started working with individuals and buying and selling their homes, more on the buying side, and then eventually more on the selling side. And then as that was going and I was having some fun there, I also started to pick up some clients from the construction side of things. So I ended up opening a general contracting company and did that for several years, in which then it made better sense for me to marry the two and explore into real estate development. And I actually ended up working with a organization some time ago known as Plymouth Church Neighborhood Foundation.
Oh, really?
Now known as Beacon Interfaith.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that was a great experience. And got my, cut my teeth, as they would say, as a project coordinator there. And then a couple of years later, I ended up working with Model Cities out of St. Paul. And I was a project manager for them. I did some development work for them, and I also managed their residential activity as well, where they were trying to build homeowners and make so that more people in the community had some equity in their life through home ownership. So I was managing that as well. And then end up, parting ways with them. Still has a very close relationship with them, but I end up reestablishing my own brokerage. And up until last year, I had that brokerage for almost 20 years, and now I am with Compass, which is a firm that has 2 offices in Minnesota, and they're based out of based out of New York.
Oh, okay. Wow, wonderful.
Yeah.
And do you have a team of people that work with you? Or?
Yes, I have 2 agents underneath me.
Nice. Wow, what a great story.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Andre, tell me a little bit about you.
All right, so I'll crack it off. So I started in real estate probably 2.5 years ago. So my start in like my career once I got done with college was in youth work, youth development. And so I made like a complete 180. Started working with young people who are on juvenile probation on behalf of the YMCA. So that was really cool. So we partnered with like Hennepin County, and we would do youth work and, you know, help young people, you know, who are on probation get jobs, get involved with pro-social activities and all these different things. And so it was great work. I really enjoyed it, but I got to a point where I was like, okay, what greater impact can I have? What more can I do? And started to just ask myself those type of questions. And, you know, for a while I worked in, as well at the YMCA as a sport director, so I was really involved with the sports. I felt like I had a big camper voice and getting the kids riled up, and that was really cool. But I was like, okay, I still had that burning question, what more can I do? How can I make a greater impact? And so decided to go to grad school in 2019. So I went to the Humphrey School of Public Affairs. And in my mind, when I went there, it was more so to potentially pursue a career in policy. And so I went for social policy, and as I was in school, it was like, you know, this is an awesome field as well, but I don't know if this is particularly the right field for me, and I'm still trying to figure out, okay, what does that next opportunity look like for me? What more do I want to do? And so I remember I got connected with one of my mentors at the time while I was in school, Joe Atkinson. He was over at Greater MSP at the time, and he would always push me like, you know, Dre, what do you want to do? I was exploring careers in economic development, and he was just so kind to open up his network to me. He was like, hey, I'm just going to, you know, give you a couple names I think you should reach out to and just explore these fields. And so started exploring careers in real estate development. And so some of the people he had me reach out to was like Casey Hankinson over at Ryan Company, some folks over at Dominion. And, you know, I was just really excited about the opportunity to be able to build, you know, structures and places and spaces, no pun intended.
Well done. I appreciate the plug.
Yeah. But, you know, I was really, like, excited about the opportunity to be able to build something that could potentially outlast me and something that was a benefit for the community and things like that. So through those conversations, it was like, it started to line up. Like, I think this is the field for me. And I, you know, took a couple courses while I was in school on real estate finance, and I was like, yeah, this is it. And so, kind of hopped into the real estate development field. And so, I started off with a couple years over at Ryan Companies, and I'm now newly at Schaefer Richardson.
Well, that is awesome. What a
Yep.
great story.
Sure.
We have to chat about your youth work. I have a little experience with some of those things too. So
Sweet.
it'd be fun to talk about that. So you both are involved in the Urban Land Institute, right? Can you tell me a little bit about what the Urban Land Institute is?
So the Urban Land Institute, excuse me.
No problem.
The Urban Land Institute is a organization that has global, I would say, groups of individuals that are from a multidisciplinary background. So you have planners, you have architects, you have developers, you have a mix of individuals that all are in the practice of knowledge of real estate. So either through giving market analysis and or developing it and or dealing with transactions. So it's kind of a hub for all of those different disciplines. In addition to that, it has, I couldn't tell you, but I want to say a few, I want to say 10,000, and don't quote me, but it has a significant amount of members.
It's a huge organization.
It's a huge organization
I had no
internationally.
idea until just recently.
Yes, and that's the thing. We have, I believe, product councils in every state, and I don't quote me, but I want to say at least 20 countries. But again,
Wow.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I've learned about it and actually was introduced to you both through Laura Hutvet, who works with me, and she went through ULI's REDI program. And have you both been through the REDI program?
Yes.
Andre, tell me a little bit about what that is.
So REDI is a 12-session program, curriculum designed for professionals identifying as Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and women. And the program aims to advance diversity in commercial real estate, to say the least. And I'll pass it off to Nene if you want to add more.
Well, I think that's good. I mean, but tell me what your experience was with it, and then we'll get to your experience with that.
All right.
So my experience, I really enjoyed it. I graduated from the cohort back in 2021.
Okay.
And for someone who was like brand new to the industry, as I mentioned earlier, I had come from a youth work background, so like real estate was completely new. Though I took a couple courses in school, it wasn't enough to feel like I got this under control. And so REDI was the opportunity for me to just really get an understanding of what the development process looks like from start to finish. And just build upon my network. Because, I mean, you got professionals from all, different disciplines within commercial real estate, whether they're, work within the city, they're maybe in brokerage, and all kind of still new in their careers as well, or just got a little more knowledge, but not just particularly in real estate development. And so it was an opportunity for me to just really grow that network and just, learn amongst a group of people who all had like a common shared interest.
Well, and it's really a commitment. Nene, talk about like what's involved. I mean, it's quite the commitment. It's not just an afternoon.
It is not just an afternoon for sure. You are expected to do homework. I mean, I think, wait a minute, but I'm an adult. Yeah, that's nice, but you chose to take this course. So it's a learning experience, and it's 12 sessions that are going to be multi-hour. So it can be anywhere from 2 to 4.5 hours that you spend that day, and where you are working on a development project. And then even when you go home, you will be assigned a part of a task to be able to contribute to the team. And that being stated, it's some exposure that I think that most people, even if you have some experience in real estate development and or investment, you are exposed to maybe what your perspective is. So you don't have a full picture. And that's what this training is supposed to help you see, is what all goes into a final product as far as being able to deliver something that you can be able to pitch. In the world of development, we know that if you get to the point where you get to the pitch, you've done probably about 70% of the work at this time in regards to the crafting of this project. And that's where a lot of people have, ideas, dreams, and ambitions in doing real estate development, but they don't have anything tangible to give them an understanding of what it actually takes to do it. And so that's what this program is designed to do.
Really interesting. Really interesting. So, and what year were you ready?
I'm an old guy.
We established that early on.
I'm from one of the first cohort, if not the second, but I think it's the first one.
Interesting. And there's when does the next cohort, like there's a sign up right now, right?
Actually, we are just in the dead throes of accepting applications. So for those of you that are listening, and you have any interest, please send an email to REDIMN, so REDIMN at ULI.org, and express your interest, and you will be able to have some response and correspondence in regards to that. Also, our application, we just had a meeting about that. We were closing it on November 27th.
Okay.
So it is coming up soon. But do understand that we're looking for those who have some experience, preferably 2 years of some real estate development experience, some capacity or some association with it. The reason being is because we don't want you to come here and not know anything, because that's not the space to learn that. We have another program, the Building a Foundation, where you can go that is a little bit more novice level on doing this. This is a little bit more advanced. In addition to that, you would have a letter of recommendation, but don't let that stop you from making sure that you at least submit your application and or get your application started. We want to make sure that we count your interest as we are making our evaluations on who we select. Now, do understand it is a highly competitive process, so get your application in early, and tell your story. Tell us why you would be a good fit for the REDI program.
So it is competitive, and there's a limited number.
There is a limited number. We like to try to keep the class amount to about 30. So it's, and we've had applications north of, we've had interest of over 200 people looking as it is now.
Wow. Andre, how do you recruit people, or how do people find out about the program?
I think it's best to sign up for the newsletter through ULI, and so you can sign up through minnesotauli.org.
And we'll put all that on the show notes too.
Perfect. But and then just what else I would say?
Yeah, do people hear about word of mouth, or are they like?
It's word of mouth. There's I try to get the word out, and there's others who've been involved in the program and just involved in getting the word out, and I would say that. And
it's also about, I would do more. ULI, this is one of their programs. I think I'm proud of it, especially with.
And you're the chair this year.
I am the chair this year. So needless to say, I'm going to push my program a little bit more than others. But that being stated, ULI has had great programming overall. And it's, again, about the networking and the exposure to those like-minded professionals that are going to help advance your aspirations and your goals within the real estate development arena. And this is a great space if you have had any interest in developing something and don't quite have the bank account to go ahead and jump in and do it yourself.
You've got the bank account for me?
Let me finish. This is a great place for you to do it safe and have an understanding and exposure so that you don't financially put yourself at risk before you're getting yourself into your first deal. So I think it's a great opportunity to, again, give a lot of practice in doing a real estate development with an actual test site. So we do have a site in the Minneapolis area in where you will be utilizing an actual developable plot of land.
Really?
And where you will be coming up with an idea, you and your team, and you're at the end of the graduation, you will pitch your project, and you will be chosen as the one who would be moving forward as the one that we would crown. Now, does that mean that the developer will choose your actual development? Not necessarily. But it does mean that, hey, if it's good enough, they might look at it. You never know. So I think it's, again, a great opportunity to get real tangible experience in a real life setting.
And I'll add, too, just outside of the experience you're going to get through the program, the people you get a chance to meet, like having the mentors, like folks from United Properties and some of the folks who are kind of cemented in the development space, you have the opportunity to engage with them and, learn from some of the best and brightest in the industry. And so, that's one thing people should think about if they're, endeavoring to get into this program.
I mean, I think being a real estate developer is one of the most risky things that there's so many aspects of it that you can't control. I mean, you have to be someone who, embraces that, I think, but having the tools and learning from a lot of people, I mean, what a special opportunity this is.
Certainly.
Mm-hmm. And it's a great way to build team building skills because as what I think a lot of people aren't aware of, they know of a developer or a developer firm and they feel like, they do everything by themselves. They're just, on this island of wonder. And no, it's a teamwork and it's a collaboration to get every project to a full delivery. And this is a way for people to plug in and see how those other parts work.
Yeah, I think that's the one the common denominator of everybody I've had on the show is that it takes a team. You can't do it, yourself. It's just interesting. That's a really good point, and I hear it so often. Tell me about, Andre, you're in the multifamily space, correct?
Correct.
Doing new development in that, and that's a tough project right now. Tough to make those numbers work.
For sure.
Tell me a little about what you're working on, and maybe even about how the REDI program influences you on a regular basis.
So with my role right now as development associate, I'm really supporting a lot of our projects. Like we have a couple lead developers who really like manage the day-to-day operations of a project, but I'm more so supporting it, whether it's underwriting new sites, coordinating different engagement with different contractors and things like that. And so it's been a pretty cool experience. I would say it's not easy right now in this moment, especially given where things go with interest rates, and you just never know where what's going to happen next. You can't predict it. Exactly. And so we have a couple projects right now. We're focused primarily on affordable housing. So that's been really cool. I think. What I want to add.
Yeah, I mean, it's like knowing some of the things that and meeting some of the people that have helped you with kind of that supportive role at Schaefer Richardson.
Right, exactly.
So interesting. It's so neat. And I think there's a lot of projects that are stalling out there, but you guys are plugging ahead, and you've got a couple things going on. Yeah.
Yep.
And Nene, you talked a little bit about the residential real estate world and the challenges there. Could you tell us a little bit more about what you're seeing in 2023, almost 2024?
Yeah, I want to rewind a couple of years back. That's what I
Me too. Can we go back to last year even? My last year was really good.
Oh, my gosh. Residential real estate is an interesting element in regards to that. We all need housing, so there's no one who is not impacted by residential real estate and what happens in it. That being stated, I think that we're in a weird time in the fact that we have, as Andre has mentioned, we have interest rates that are pushing on it. And a lot of people thought that would make it so that the prices would come immediately down. That's not the case. And well, why is that? Well, because there's not much inventory. And so, yes, granted, it made it more expensive for some, but not for everyone. But there is a situation right now where you're having the sellers are starting to recognize that they're not getting the same prices that they were just as recently as last year. So you are starting having a little bit more price reductions. You're having a little bit less of multiple offers. You're having, but if it's priced right, and you're not trying to take every last penny out of the deal, you'll find a situation where it will still have a multiple offer. So it's just, navigate consumer confidence, making sure that, you are in a position where you are still offering something of value. And I think another thing that a lot of people have gotten away from over the last few years was prepping their property for sale. Now, yes, you have to go back to prepping your property for sale.
Okay, all right.
There's a few things you gotta actually wash the carpets now. You actually gotta wash the windows. Yeah. But you're still having a lot of activity out there, and you're having a situation where if you again price it appropriately, you'll get a good price for it. But no, just sticking the sign in the yard and having a line around the corner, those days are gone.
Yeah, probably for the best, right? I mean,
I think
to a certain degree.
It was too hot for a minute there, and I think that you were having people who were waiving inspections. I never advised the client to waive an inspection. I don't care how stiff the competition got, because you are not going to come back to me next year and Nene, you said. So you're having a few people who are going through that. You may have had some people who, just threw any number at a house just to get the house. Those things and those activities, I think, were harmful to the process. Thank God they weren't, the entire industry, but it was enough that it made impact. So now that is not the case, I think we're still not technically even in a balanced market.
Really?
Yes. So it's quite a ways still before we get to a buyer's market.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. And so if you think about it, so we had inventory numbers, days on market was under, let's say at the height, like it was under a month. It was like 2, maybe 3 weeks was the average, right? Now it's maybe, maybe 2 months, 2 months and 2 weeks. The balanced market doesn't realize until 4 to 6 months.
Oh.
And then after that, that's when it's buyer's market. So we still got a ways before we get to that.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So I have to ask the question, and you may say no, but having gone through this program and worked, in the development worlds that you've both been involved with, do you see yourself developing a project that you have some skin in the game, or it's your project? Do you have any dreams or aspirations in that department?
Why are you in my pocket?
I was gonna say I definitely got aspirations to do that at some point. So right now, just getting my feet wet, kind of learning, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Do you have any product type or any dream or anything that you want to share with us?
No big dream to share right now, but I definitely want to stay in the multifamily space.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I would agree. I'd say the most riskiest thing that I would do is a mixed-use project. That would be exciting to have completed, something of that nature. But again, the whole point of this training is to help you understand the realities that are associated with doing real estate development, and timing matters. Mm-hmm. So if the timing is right, then yes. Is it right now? No, because it's really expensive, and especially as you had mentioned earlier, to make numbers work and make your margins work with the cost of money in these days. Yeah. But again, and you got to deliver a product that is going to be well received to make sure that it does get occupied in a relatively short amount of time. Which, that all takes a very outstanding team. One of the things that is being exposed with REDI and also ULI is that you have the opportunity and access to create that team through your networks and exposure that you get with meeting the individuals you're working with.
Yeah, that's super incredible. Yeah. Talk to me about other aspirations that you have. Like, what's your next step? What do you see doing next? Getting more people to buy homes, or
definitely if you need to buy or sell.
Right.
Yes, and the next step for me is to either be a part of an intricate part of a development team, in where we do multiple projects. I have some aspirations to go international.
Really?
Yes.
Where?
So, first off, Panama, I think, is a fantastic location. One, it has a strong American presence. It also has a very international presence, reason being because you have people from all walks of life and all points of the world who congregate there because of where it's being able to have access both to the east and west side of the coast. I also think that Mexico and Canada, being our neighbors, are good development opportunities as well there. I think also Costa Rica is getting a little saturated, but there's some development opportunities there. And then if you want to go towards Europe, Portugal is another good location, and of course, my home country of Ghana.
Oh, were you born in Ghana?
My father was born in Ghana.
That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a little crazy to be a developer, and it's even crazier to be a developer in another country. So now we know a little bit more about you.
Yes, I am a little crazy.
I love that so much. Andre, most of Schaefer Richardson's projects are in the Midwest, correct?
Correct.
Are the housing projects you're working on in Minnesota, or are they?
Minnesota.
They're all in
primarily.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think for me, it's just going to be just learning one step at a time. The development space is so much to learn, and so for me, I think next step is just, again, taking the baby steps and just keep learning.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot to learn in that, and it's never boring, because
Never boring.
there's I think nothing repeats itself twice. I love that about our brokerage business. There's you're never doing the same thing every day, and it's like a series of problems. And you get
different
to solve.
problems every time.
Right,
Yeah, it is.
right. And I love that, because, when you can tackle that hurdle and you get to face the next hurdle, it's pretty rewarding when you get through that.
It is.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank both of you so much for taking the time to be here today, and it was super fun to get to know you, and would love to be part of your team in some way, shape, or form sometime in the future, but I'm super excited to add you to my network and to know you guys. Really, really thank you.
Well, I'm down for a collaboration, so definitely, and thank you for having us.
I really appreciate it. And be sure, if you have any interest at all in the ULI REDI program, that you get your application in as soon as possible. We'll post all of that in the show notes.
And I'm going to say, we're always looking for mentors, so if you're looking to be a mentor and want to support the program and help some new emerging developers learn, I encourage you to reach out as well.
And also sponsors, and those who are interested in just supporting the type of work that REDI is able to do. And if you're also looking for individuals that are if you're trying to diversify your development team, we're a great resource in regards to having access to those who have already went through the process.
Oh, that's an excellent point. That's really good. I was told that I'm going to be a sponsor of some sort today. So
Yes, you are.
Laura might have twisted my arm a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really proud to. I watched the graduation last year, and I was so impressed by everybody. It was just a wonderful experience to see what everybody had accomplished and meet an incredible group of people.
Thank you. We agree. We're fans ourselves.
All right. Well, thanks for your involvement and your volunteering. And next year, you're 2025.
2025 chair.
Yeah?
I'm baby chair right now, according to Nene. Newly coined phrase here, but
I love it so much. Well, thanks for your involvement in your, leading another generation of people into this incredible field.
Thank you.
thank you.
Have a really good day. Thanks.
All right, you too. Love it.